In 1989, the former Nazi and war criminal Werner Reinhardt was released from prison by fellow Hydra member Alexander Pierce, who had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and the American government. Reinhardt then traveled to Austria, where he found the inhuman Jia Ying, who had been kidnapped from the Hunan province of China, and recognized her as the woman who survived an experiment with a diviner before his incarceration, seeing that she had not visibly aged in all that time. Deciding to investigate, Reinhardt conducted medical experiments on her, using his findings to reverse his own aging. Werner then legally changed his name to Daniel Whitehall and adopted an American accent. Although Jia Ying's body was destroyed during the experiments, her remains were recovered by her husband, Dr. Calvin Johnson, who had been searching for her since she was first taken. Using his medical knowledge, he put her body back together, and with the help of Jia Ying's own natural healing abilities, revived his beloved wife. In addition, Calvin Johnson created a formula which made him physically stronger and better able to protect his family, though it had dangerous side effects, which made him increasingly volatile and mentally unstable. Reunited, the two then returned to China, only to discover their daughter Daisy, who'd been staying with trusted friends, was kidnapped by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. The distraught parents then left a bloody trail behind them as they searched for their daughter, using the life energy of those killed to further heal Jia Ying. Designated as an 084, an object of unknown origin, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who thought they were rescuing the child Daisy feared for her safety, believing violent people were searching for her, and so sent her to an orphanage under the name Mary Sue Poots, though she later chose the nickname Sky. Although Calvin Johnson tried desperately to find her, he ultimately failed, and as a result, his wife left him, and so he dedicated the rest of his life to finding his daughter. Having been sent on a war dogs mission to California, N'Jobu, brother of King T'Chaka of Wakanda, became radicalized in his belief that their advanced technology should be used to help the rest of Africa and those of African descent, who had been exploited and subjugated throughout history. In an attempt to further his goal, N'Jobu revealed secret information about his homeland to Ulysses Claw, an international arms dealer who was then able to locate Wakanda and steal a quarter-ton of vibranium, before setting off an explosive and becoming the first person in the nation's history to evade capture. Also in this year, Hank Pym resigned from S.H.I.E.L.D. after they ignored his objections and attempted to duplicate Pym particle technology. In 1990, Agent John Garrett suffered life-threatening injuries during a mission in Sarajevo, but was left to save himself, as S.H.I.E.L.D. was unable to send an extraction team. Feeling betrayed, Garrett joined Hydra and became the first test subject of Project Deathlock, in which Cybertech Industries gave him biomechanical prosthetics to save his life. In this same year, NASA launched the Hubble Space Telescope, capturing images of the 9 realms. In 1991, Hydra sent the Winter Soldier to assassinate Howard Stark and his wife, Maria. Howard Stark's right-hand man, Obadiah Stane, then became interim CEO of Stark Industries, until Tony Stark came of age to become the youngest ever CEO of a Fortune 500 company and a media celebrity. In 1992, after a thorough investigation of the attack on Wakanda by Ulysses Claw, King T'Chaka discovered that his younger brother N'Jobu had betrayed them and assisted in the crime. Using an undercover agent named Zuri as a spy, T'Chaka confirmed his suspicions and traveled to California, where his brother defended himself by saying he was trying to help the oppressed Africans of the world. But T'Challa did not accept his excuse and was forced to kill his brother when he pulled a gun on Zuri. After it was over, the Wakandans departed aboard a stealth ship, leaving N'Jobu's body to be discovered by his young son Eric Stevens, who dedicated the rest of his life to avenging his father. In 1993, Ivan Vanko, son of Anton Vanko, was imprisoned for 15 years after selling weapons-grade plutonium to Pakistan. In 1994, a boy named Matt Murdock saved the life of an old man when a truck with hazardous chemicals flipped over. Unfortunately, these chemicals then splashed into the boy's eyes, causing permanent blindness. The following year, his father, Jack Murdock, was hired by the gangster Roscoe Sweeney to purposely lose a boxing match against Carl Crusher Creel. However, Jack ultimately decided not to take a dive and defeated his opponent so his son might think of him as a winner. Knowing this decision was dangerous, he placed a large bet on himself before the match and arranged for the winnings to be transferred into his son's name so he would be taken care of no matter what happened. And just as he feared, Jack was soon murdered for his actions. With his father dead and mother unable to take care of him, Matt Murdock was sent to an orphanage, where he was found by Stick, a blind martial arts master and member of the Chaste, an organization dedicated to defeating the ancient ninja clan known as the Hand. Stick then trained Matt Murdock to compensate for his lack of vision by heightening his other senses to become a powerful fighter with unique skills and abilities. However, when he noticed that the boy was becoming attached to him, Stick chose to abandon his student, informing him he could no longer be his instructor. Far from the planet Earth, Stakar Ogord of the Ravagers admonished Yondu Udanta after discovering that he broke their rules and trafficked children. Although Yondu and his crew continued to consider themselves Ravagers, they were branded as traitors and became an exiled faction. Back in the United States of America, a young Bruce Banner met and started dating Betty Ross while students at Harvard University. Growing up in Massachusetts, Grant Ward was psychologically and physically abused by his older brother Christian, greatly influencing his upbringing and partly leading him to become a petty criminal. In New York, a young woman named Cassandra was kidnapped, gang-raped, and murdered by a criminal named Mike Jones and his companions, an event which greatly affected her cousin Misty Knight, motivating her to become a police officer. Across the Atlantic, Natasha Romanoff was trained by the KGB to become an elite Russian spy, thriving under the strict environment and conditions to eventually earn the codename Black Widow. Far off in space, the being Thanos was becoming one of the most powerful warlords in the universe, with the Chitauri and Outriders serving as his army, while his adopted children formed the Black Order, trained as elite warriors and assassins. Yet Thanos was not motivated by a lust for power or riches, instead resolved to help the people of the universe in his own way, inspired by the fate of his home planet, Titan, a once beautiful world that became overpopulated, resulting in a great cataclysm which destroyed them. Although it was too late for his homeworld, Thanos resolved to prevent such a calamity from destroying another planet, and became convinced that the only solution was to eliminate half the population of the universe. And so with his ever-growing might, Thanos started to visit various planets, which suffered from overpopulation and limited resources, forcibly enacting his plans. Though he gained a reputation as a brutal killer and merciless tyrant, Thanos claimed that it was because of his efforts that these planets went on to flourish, with those that survived now able to live long and happy lives. One of these planets was known as Zeo-Barai, where he met a young girl named Gamora, adopting her as a daughter and training her to join the Black Order. Love audiobooks? Then be sure to check out Audible, where they have the world's largest collection available. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below and get 2 free audiobooks to start out. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Sir Jeremiah Ironside, Knight of Sword and Spear, Lucas Glass of Salt Spear, Knight of the Iron Shield, Sir Dayron of House Ashford, and Christ Wilder, the Crimson Shadow, Knight of the Old Republic. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.